Hey guys, this is Doran, CEO Culture Matters. Today I want to talk about leadership. I learned from John Maxwell, a guy with over 100 books on leadership. The 5 levels of leadership changed my life in 2014. John Maxwell says everything rises and falls on leadership. Well, I realized that when I started a business with my best friend with a couple sleeping bags, a credit card, and a couple $1,000, and we turned that into a very successful business in a very short period of time. 3 guys in a bunch of sleeping bags to over 20 staff in less than 4 months. It was pretty amazing, and it changed my life forever. Was I even 1/10 of the person I am today? No, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I even did that experience. Well, what I learned in that experience, especially in the beginning, is I wasn't the leader that I thought I was. See, sometimes we know what to do, right? We're good at something. So we decide to open a business, and then we think all of a sudden everything's just going to work out. And we don't seem to realize that our worst enemy ends up being ourselves. And what I found after coaching businesses now consistently, some not so successful, some successful, some turning around, and some not working out, that every entrepreneur struggles with the same things. And these things tend to be the 9 pillars of business: the vision, the mission, the culture, the product, the procedures, the connection, the legal, the cash flow, the leadership. Well, today I want to talk about leadership and my journey with it. So what did I learn from that experience? In the beginning, I used to tell my people what to do. I thought I was the boss. Have you ever had a boss that told you what to do? Doesn't make you feel very good. Well, according to John Maxwell, in the 5 levels of leadership, which is probably my most recommended leadership book to start out with ever, because he narrows the whole complex subject down to 5 levels. Amazing. Have you ever had a boss that told you what to do? Yeah. And how do you feel about that? Well, they're paying your bills, so you do it, but how do you feel about them? Over time, you don't like them. That's the first level of leadership, a positional leader. Have you ever had a boss that got to know you, that asked you why you were even in the company, or what your goals were, or what your future would look like for yourself if it was the best version of yourself? Have you ever had a mentor or someone that went up above and beyond, that positionally they were above you, and yeah, but they got to know you? When I ask that question to clients, they always say yeah, and they have this twinkle in their eye like, that person is why they're where they are today, but they're not with that company anymore. Usually they own their own. And that's where the really interesting part comes in. See, that guy, that boss that got to know you, wasn't just a level 1 leader positionally. They were practicing what John Maxwell calls a level 2 leader, a permissional leader. They get to know you, and they get permission to coach you from you, because they show that they care. They connect with you. What separates the level 2 leader from the level 3 leader is what I've seen that separates the business that did really well, that started to stagnate, from the business that just keeps shooting up. Have you ever had a boss that wasn't only just above you, didn't just get to know you, but they were the walking, talking real deal, meaning they didn't tell you to make the phone calls. They did the phone calls and then show you how to do it. So they showed you the way, so you wanted to go the way. If you've ever had someone that you respected because they didn't just tell you what to do, but they did it themselves, that's a level 3 leader, a production leader. Now, the difference between the production leader and the permissional leader is exponential, because the permissional leader, at the end of the day, isn't showing you how to do what they do. So humans being humans, we learn through osmosis. We end up not making the cold call or the hot call. We end up not following up on the lead. We end up not doing what it takes to become them, because we never saw them do it and we don't have the confidence. Have you ever had a boss that wasn't just above you, didn't just get to know you, didn't just show you the way, but then also took the time to develop you? If you're answering yes to that, you're probably very successful in whatever you're doing. Whether you are stagnating or not, you're probably at a level where you're doing pretty good, because you had someone to take you up and grow you. And that's a level 4 leader, a developmental leader. When you can develop people, you can exponentially grow your income. Think about it. If there's 168 hours in a week, even if you sleep 4 hours a night, you only got 128. But if you sleep 8 hours a night and you have more time to yourself, or I'm sorry, less time to work, but you train 2 people and they each work 40 hours. Now you're just magnifying the amount of hours. That's a developmental leader. They pour into people. But have you ever tried to push a string? It gets all crumpled. You got to pull it. So they're not just pushing people without showing them how to do it. See, you can't skip from level 2 to level 4. You got to be 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to obviously be positionally in charge to be able to do anything at all. Get to know people and get to know why they're motivated so you can help them be better. Do the work so they respect you and pour into them because they respect you and you're doing the work. They'll become you and now you're exponentially growing yourself. So your success in life isn't based on what you can make for yourself. It's based on what you can make other people be able to make for themselves. Now the question is, do you need to be positionally in front of people to be or to act like a level 3 leader or to act like a level 4 leader? That's the common mistake. We're all leaders. And in life, when you be it and you do it, eventually you'll have it. That little sign will change. And people will respect you and you will get those opportunities. Have you ever had a boss or knew anyone that was in charge of the company, showed that they cared, did the work, worked harder than anybody, developed tons of amazing leaders? So this is your boss's 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 boss. But you probably didn't see them very often because they were on a yacht. But you didn't care because you liked them because they did a good job. That's a pinnacle leader, according to John Maxwell. That's where we're all trying to get to. We all want to be on the yacht. The issue is people want to be on the yacht without permissional leadership, production leadership, or developmental leadership. And that worked 100 years ago when people were treated like slaves in business. But now you got to treat people like people. Great examples of pinnacle leader is someone that has grown bigger than the business they did. Sam Walton. He was it. He did the work. He worked harder than everybody. And when he had billions, he was still the same guy. A bad example is the guy you've never seen in your company who just takes the big bonus and lays everybody off. That's not a pinnacle leader. And if you study companies, they usually go out of business. So how can you relate to these 5 levels of leadership? And ask yourself, where are you? 2013, I was a level 2 leader. Got to know people. I genuinely did care. And I would get the respect. I could actually think of times when I was a level 3 leader, without a doubt. But sometimes when you're really good at something, you're a level 3 leader, you want to show someone how to do it, and they're not sure how to do it, and you want to tell them what to do, you got to do this, you got to do this. You forget, if you would just slow down, do the work, and ask them some pretty powerful questions, they'll end up finding the courage within themselves to be a better version of themselves. And once you can get one person to a level 3 leader, now you can do it again and again and again. And guess what? The only difference between a level 5 leader and level 4 leader is level 5 leader has tons of level 4 leaders. And the only difference between 4 and 3 is he's got tons of 3s. But first, you've got to know the 5 levels of leadership to be able to grow the 5 levels of leadership. So I hope this video was value to you. I just summed up John Maxwell's book in a nutshell. But I implore you, go to my website, yourinstoppableculture.com. I have a link to the 5 levels of leadership. If you're thinking about educating yourself, if you're thinking about investing in leadership knowledge, you're thinking about investing in any personal development, get that book and read it until your eyes bleed. I hope this was valuable to you guys. Jay Doran, CEO Culture Matters. You guys have a great day.